So welcome to our last quarter leadership meetings. So we're hoping to discuss things that will help us plan in continuation from what we need to do from today and the near future. What are things we need to do and how can we make our organization better? So the meeting, as I said, we're discussing for what we need to do now and in the near future for the Qhsc. So we need to be able to grow the organization so it can work for us versus us struggling to try and catch up, things like that. So I sent you agenda yesterday, which we are hoping, so is the discussion and planning agenda for November 14th. And then, so we're trying to discuss the future of Qhsc. We're hoping it should be a bright future because we've learned enough for the last 4 years when we've been going as a group. We've learned enough to know which medical mission is going to be successful, what things we need to do to try and get a better outcome, and then what exactly the goals that we are planning. So we have to be strategical, we have to be purposeful, we have to be intentional for what we are doing from now on. We're not just going to get people to come to medical mission so they can come and have a vacation. No, we need to be intentional on our way that we are doing. So to start with, we have to keep laying a foundation of what we need to do. And that's why I said, in order to have that Qhsc as a bright spot in the world on what's its impact, we have to be able to agree and ask board members, leadership, executive members. We have to be able to have some participation and active involvement for every step of it, so we can make sure we have a shared goal. And then so we can be able to lift each other and be able to help each other and make it a little bit more efficient. So the second point we are going to help is to do ask a member to choose to continue their position as of now, either your board members or your advisor or your community outreach person. We are trying to make sure that wherever that position, do you commit to share your position that you want to do it and what do you need to do in order for you to meet that part. We're going to discuss about the membership responsibility as a member or board members or leadership member. And then we have to do the fundraising because we're not going to run the organization without money. We all know that part. So we don't want to keep doing the same thing that we've been doing so far. Although we have accomplished so much, but still we want to accomplish it more and being efficient, so nobody is stressed out or strained to accomplish these goals. And then, of course, we're going to give a time to for your suggestions. So I am going to, you always record the meeting. So I'm going to continue recording this meeting at the end of the meeting for people who are not here, any board members, leadership member, and advisors. I'm going to send this message, the video, so they can read, also listen and commit, and then agree or disagree or continue provide services for that role they have or not, because I don't want to force anybody else. We are all busy. So that's why if you choose to join with us, I want you to be an active members, not necessarily just somebody who is sitting on the sideline. And I want to hear what your opinion. I want to hear why do you choose to be part of the Qhsc, and by choosing that part, what contribution do you bring on the table? So we want to be able to have an honest discussion to make sure that if we choose to be part of this organization, then we need to be active, representative, advocate for the organization to make sure that it runs smooth. Okay, so to start with, the first thing is the future for Qhsc. As I said, we know it's going to be brighter because for what we have been doing so far, we are at the level of exceeding our expectations. However, we need to make it more efficient, more impactful. So 5 years from now, 10 years from now, we know for sure that the organization can stand by itself and we see the fruits of our labor. So we don't want to just go there and do your bandage and then leave. No, we want to be able to go there and be impactful. And I know everybody who is has been an active member for QHSC, you can see your dedication, passion, that what exactly you've been doing so far. You can see the progression. You can see different things that we've been trying to do previous missions. And then you can see which one could be more efficient if everybody has to chip in and jump in and stuff like that. And we know the motto for an organization is haba na haba, kujaza kibaba, which is little by little, we're going to get to where we're supposed to do. We're going to build the mountain, but if everybody put their hands there, we'll be able to do it faster than if only one person is doing it and everybody's watching a sideline as if we're watching a movie. No, we're not doing that part anymore. So yes, we're going to plan. I mean, a lot of plans are going to change because, as I said, we want to make sure it's better. It's more efficient and everybody can see their contribution and make it more efficient. And then, so things that we need to do, let's see, hold on a second. Okay, so things that we need to do. So in order to meet the financial needs for the organization, we have a number of things that we need to pay for it. Like now, for example, the phones that we are using for communication, the Wi-Fi for Zoom and all the stuff. When we go to Tanzania, when you do all the communication with volunteers and potential donors and stuff. So all those stuff needs to be covered. The Zoom that we are using right now, of course, it needs to be paid annually. The platform that we have, the Wix, the website for the organization. And of course, we are going to change a few things about that part. We want to make sure the website helps us to bring more traffic, enhance, hopefully encourage donors. We want to be able to have like one-stop fits all. I mean, like everybody can go there and get the information about our organization and learn about it and how can they be part of it. And then, of course, we need to be able to track it and get those statistics and be able to use it for an advantage to say, okay, we have this number of people, we have doing this project, we need this much money, this is how we're going to use it. So we have a same story. So it doesn't mean like if somebody asks you about QHSC, you're going to have to start looking for me and ask questions. No, no, no. We want to be able to do, if you're a board member or if you're in a leadership or if you're an executive team, I want you to be able to talk and speak QHSC because you are part of that QHSC. Not only one person should know everything about QHSC. I want anybody who is a board member, as long as you sit there and participate, then you're going to know what the QHSC is and be able to speak about it and advocate for us so we can be able to build this organization. As I said, the financial challenges definitely are there to not be able to have all this smooth transition of that part. So we need to get corporate sponsors to help cover these expenses. So I can't do by myself. I need help. And that's why as the board members and leaders and executive team members, you have that responsibility or expectation for you to be able to help us to be able to cover those costs. I don't mean that you have to take it out of your pocket. No, no, no. We're going to work to be able to try and figure out, to find the avenues that if you know an organization that can help us, then what do you need to do? You need a corporate letter, you need information, then draft it, and then we work with you to be able to help us. So if every single one of us, because we have 5 board members, we have 2 community liaisons, we have 4 advisors. So almost those are 10 people. So if everybody goes out and do something, will we have those money to pay all those basic expenses? So I expect to have everybody who is in the board member or leadership part or executive member should have a hand on those areas. So for recruitment and volunteers, definitely as a part of the leadership team, please, you are able to recruit people and bring people to the organization. Because if you trust or believe into the mission of the organization, vision of the organization, I'm hoping that you should be able to go and speak of it out there and recruit other people. Because if you feel like this is something that you believe in and something like that, then you should be able to bring more people to the organization. It should not be one person's job to be able to advertise and go and recruit everybody else. No, I need help from every single person who occupied that spot to be able to help me with this part. Yes, so definitely we know for the training, for the projects that we do, whether we are doing it in the United States or we are doing it during the medical mission, all those things, it has to be seamless throughout the year. So people who are involved whether for specific training, then yes, we're going to ask you to continue doing training, and then we're going to ask you for more stuff than other than training behind the scene. If we're trying to train something from here before we go there, what are the outcome we're trying to achieve? How many people do we want to do? How do we get them to do the training maybe throughout the year, and then when you go there we do the skills? Those are things that we need to be able to discuss. So people who are coming to teach, we want to make sure that they know the inside role of what they should play when they're teaching, so you can say, okay, we're teaching these 4 phases. So phase 1, 2, 3, we're going to do this every 2 months. And then, so if you can donate your hour and then you teach, that's fine. And then if we end up to go to the medical mission with you, then you know for sure in the medical mission, you have already taught them the theory part. Then now, okay, let's go and see them in the unit. So we're going to try to do things a little bit specific. If you're going to one of the hospital, we stay to that one of the hospital and be able to do that. But what did I do? Oh, there we go.
I let her in.
Okay, so do you guys still see my slides?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and then the 5th point is like we're going to start to have the gala. So this is one of the way that we need to be able to focus and include our financial impact. We do need to raise money, so we're going to try to get the gala for next year, which we're going to start working on this year because it takes a lot of stuff to do. And I know there's probably, I think, 4 or 5 people already volunteered to be in there. Thank you for your time and for your dedication. I do appreciate the enthusiastic of volunteering yourself without being told to join in. I do appreciate that, but we're going to need your help, definitely. If you know anybody that can help us donating on or getting the table and stuff. So people who are going to work in the gala, we're going to start working this probably in December to start working and strategize what do we need to do. And the gala is going to be next year. So we have ourselves at least 8, 9, 10 months to plan ahead to be able to accommodate, achieve that and raise money, and how much do we want to raise and what are those things is. So it's going to be like a kind of like intense process we need to do. I'm not asking that you're going to do that meeting every night. No, we can do that every month, but also there are a couple of things that if we are following it up, we're going to ask every 2 weeks to give us an update. You can send it in an email, Zoom, or stuff like that, but we are going to give you specific things that we need to do, so we don't have to waste time like sitting on the meeting for 2 hours discussing. No, we can share that information in a group, or you can even start in a group to be able to share and updating each other. And that's why I said, if you commit on something, I expect you to be able to come to meetings and stuff. As I said, I understand every single one of us is busy. So I'm not going to accept the excuse that I was busy, that's why I didn't want to do it. No, because I'm busy too. But if I commit on something, I want to be able to do it. So I hope you're going to be able to do that part. And if you can do it, that's okay. I mean, I understand. As I said, everybody's busy. Everybody have their priorities. If your priority is no longer QHSC, I understand. I don't want to sugarcoating to try and see, okay, well, because, I've been there for a long time. No, I'm not playing that part. If you can't do it, it's okay. I would rather put somebody else there who wants to help me to be able to do that and build the organization. I don't have no hard feeling if somebody chooses not to do it, no hard feeling at all, because I said our priorities changes. So I want to be able to make it efficient for people who wants to do it, and everybody wants to chip in. It's going to be a little bit easier, less stressful for everybody. Okay, so number 2, so choose or commit to come, commit and to continue the role. So currently we do have leadership board, and everybody knows who it is, and if you can check on the Sunbees website, your name is in there. So I'm gonna ask everybody who is on that list, choose if you choose to stay on that position, which I don't need to change. If you choose to stay, and I want you to commit by the December 14th, yes, I want to know by then, because by December 20th, I need to be able to create another board members and stuff, so I can start preparing the papers for next year, because January 1st, I have to submit those things. So I need to know that information ahead of time. I don't think you need to wait until the 14th to know that you want to do it or not, but I'm going to give people a whole month, because some people are not there right now in the meeting, and that's why I want to give them enough time. So, but I do need to know that part by December 14. I don't want to chase anybody to start asking and start begging. I can't do that part. And as I said, I believe every single person is busy, so I don't want to waste your time if you don't feel like you can do it. But if you want to do it, please join us so we can make it better. So if you choose to stay, I'm going to ask you as a board members or the leaders of the organization to attend at least 6 out of 12 general meetings, because we're going to continue doing general meeting once a month to try and keep up, and so people will know what is going on. So once a month, but at least as a board member or leader, I expect you to be on those meetings at least 6 times. You can be there every meeting. I will appreciate that. But I know sometimes, as I said, you travel, emergencies happen. I understand. And then, so number 2, at least 3 out of 4 quarterly meetings. So the quarterly meetings, those are leader meetings. So we can make the decision voting for stuff. We don't need to vote in the general meeting. We vote in the board meetings, because certain things that needs to be done as board members versus everybody who is outside. So I expect you that part. And sometimes, as I said, let's say for the quarterly meeting, and it happens maybe, let's say we're doing Thursday or Wednesday, I don't care. So you can't do because you're called to work. I understand. Once we finish the meeting, we share the meeting. You can read or listen and then provide feedback. Because if you're a board member or a leader in the organization, how can you be that if you've never attended any meetings? So what are you leading, really? So we need to be able to have voice. So if you get that position and that status, then provide your feedback. Provide your after the meeting. If you missed the meeting, listen to the video afterwards and give us a meeting. So, and if you can't attend, please let me know. Okay, I can't do it. And thank you for Mrs. Behuniak, which she did say she's going to be late because she's going to be at work or something like that. But I do appreciate that, but because at least I know, okay, then if there's something that I need specifically to talk to her, then I can wait until another time. But if the invitation is posted, nobody said a word. How would I know if you are coming? How do I even know if you are listening or you are seeing those messages? And as I said, we are all busy. I don't want to waste your time. But if you cannot do it, I want to put somebody else who wants to do it and who can help me to be able to get to work in this organization. And as I said, I thank you for your service, for all this time you have carried us so far. I appreciate your services. But if you want to commit and want to continue with us, I will definitely continue appreciating that part. So please let me know. Point number 3, membership. So the membership responsibility and the recruit members. So yes, so as a board member, you do have some expectation that to help grow the organization, because the more members we have, the more financial ability we're going to have to be able to pay those basic things that allow our organization to run, like almost those monthly and yearly expenses of running the Zoom, the communication and all the Wi-Fi and all stuff like that. So all those things have to be paid for. And then so as a leader in a leadership membership, whatever, or you're a board member, you expected at least to, of course, pay your dues and then help the organization to grow. As I said, the more people we have, the better chance we have, the impact we have. So we're going to get more people who can help us with different projects and different activities, fundraising and stuff like that. So as a board member, at least for a whole year, we can say at least 10 people. If you can try to recruit 10 people for the whole year, that would be a great thing. When we get to discuss if 10 is too high for everybody else, that's fine. If there's another number, we can start. Maybe the first year we start with a different number, and then the second year we start with 10. This 10 number, I found it when I was listening to one of the presentation. They were talking about the responsibility of the board members and leaders on each non-profit organization. In order to grow the organization, they put their numbers at 10 for each board members. So then this year we put 10. So the next year we're going to continue. Yes, we might lose in between, but at least that's how you grow organization. If you leave growth of organization for one person, the organization is not going to grow anywhere. You're going to get only 3 people and that's it. So who is going to help us with all this? Because if we don't get people who are buying in, nobody's going to sell us our story out there. So we need all the manpower we can get. So as I said, when we do the discussion, we can discuss. But when from that presentation, they were discussing, that's the number that they use to encourage the board members to recruit 10 people at least for the whole year. You can recruit more than that, that would be great, but at least 10. Okay, number 4, fundraising and participation for QHSC. So another expectation for the board members or leaders, fundraising at least 1,000. I'm not asking that you give out of your pocket. I mean, if you do have it, sure. But this is just like to get other people. And this is kind of like starting a conversation with people you know, because if you're part of organization and you're proud to be part of the organization, then share that story. And then so at least then said, okay, we need this, we need that, we usually need that, but usually at least if we need, we're doing fundraising, you can share the fundraising also. So chances is at least if you get 1,000 in a year, that will help. As I said, there's 10 of us. That would be an easy 10,000 just to get the basic stuff for the organization. Yes, does that look too much? Yes, if you're waiting to do your fundraising at the end of the year, yes, it's going to be, that's a lot. And that's why I'm saying it now before January comes. But if we are able to do this a little bit here, a little bit there, now people usually sometimes do the Facebook. Some people raise 500, 300, 400. If you do 2 or 3 times in a year, chances is you're going to get to that $1,000 a year. And as I said, there's 10 of us in that membership party. So that is, we can see when we can budget to say, you know what, if everybody's going to bring by the end of the year, we're going to have at least $10,000 to start with. And that has nothing to do with the leadership, corporate sponsor and stuff like that. So if we have that mentality, so then at least we put the value to grow the organization, we are going to be able to do that part. I know it sounds probably scary or something like that, then yes, we're going to discuss and find ways to discuss it throughout the year, at least to be able to say, okay, we need to do this, we need to do that, and then be able to help. Once we have that money, it will be a little bit easier to be able to say, okay, let's maybe get somebody who, even if they get some incentive of helping, I don't know, with, accounting books, or somebody's going to try to get the professional video of this and this and that, or we can pay somebody to come and host our gala for music and stuff like that. They can help with all those things, require money. And then so that's part of things that as a board member, to be able to help us and be able to contribute on the stability of the organization. So you can use the platform, a social media platform. You can use corporate letters, sponsorship. You can do a lot of stuff. And then, as I said, if you need those templates and stuff like that, let's talk about it. You can design your own fundraising, like advertisement. We can work it and put it on our website. So then we can advertise and get those funds. Or you can share if you have another platform, you can share to your family and friends and stuff like that. Yes, as I said, $1,000 looks a lot, but if you do 2 or 3 times a year, you should be able to get to that number. As long as you are purposeful to do that part, you are going to be able to get it. And I think number 5, that's the 5th point, is roundtable and suggestions. And definitely we want to hear your opinion. And I'm going to stop sharing my slides. As I said, our motto is Harbor and Harbor, building a better world together. There's no way we'll be able to build a better world if it's only 1 or 2 people who are working harder than anybody else. So we are asking you for your presence in that position, and then so you can help us be able to make the QHSC better and bright. I know it's a lot of information, but so I'm opening the floor so we can discuss and see what can we do. Anything that I discussed there, if you want to expound on it, that's fine. If you have any question about it, that's fine. Let's just have an honest discussion. As I said, we can't be hiding behind and expect that the organization is going to be miracle worker, show up money or something like that to continue running by itself. And I don't want to strain on a couple of people to be able to keep giving the money. And then the other people are just watching on the sideline. So, as I said, I am deeply, deeply touched that people have worked so hard and volunteer their time and willing and spend even money definitely for to raise the level of the organization. So we're at the point that we need to make it a little bit more efficient and bigger and share the work, and then so we can enjoy the profit all of us together. Yes. Any comment?
Yeah, I have a couple of comments.
Yes.
Number one, I think that number of 10 is too high to
Mhm.
try to recruit people.
Okay.
Number two, I think that it's a big problem trying to recruit people, especially to go on the mission trips and participate when you talk about October, because October for people that have children, it is not a good time to go. And so anybody that you talk to is like, well, why would I, my kids are in school and this and that and the other, so that's not a good time to go, for the average person. For you with being in academia and you have that time off is great, but most people aren't in academia and most people are working. And so if they have vacations during the summer, then they're more apt to do that. The other thing is like what I've been finding is that people are saying, well, why would people have a hard time, I think, processing the fact that we're doing missions and it's not a vacation. So there seems to be some disconnect in terms of, okay, I'm going to Tanzania, right? But in the meantime, I also want to have my fun time. So people are somewhat unwilling, if you will, to sacrifice, quote unquote, their vacation time to go to Tanzania to just do 2 full weeks of missions. Oh, sorry. I know you can't see me. I have my video off. Sorry. To do 2 weeks of missions. And so, that's another problem too, trying to get people just to give back in general for anything.
Okay,
Um,
so no, I appreciate Dr. Gwen. So I have a follow-up question so I can make sure I address all your points, and I agree 110%. As I said, the 10 people, recruiting 10 people in a year, that was one of the, I don't remember his name now, one of the presentations that they were trying to say if you want to grow the organization, which I agree. I thought it was 10 is bigger, but if we started doing throughout the year, we might be able to get it. However, I agree with you because this is the first time we are starting. People have to be able to learn about it. Which number do you think will be kind of appropriate to start with?
I think five.
Five.
I
Okay.
think five is appropriate. Yeah.
No, that's okay. So that's one. Brio, how many people do you think?
I was gonna say five.
Five.
I think yeah, 10's too much.
Mi esposo, how many do you think? Hello? If you're talking, you are muted. That's okay. I will get him to later. But no, I agree with you. As I said, when I heard and I said, let me present the number because that was my thought, but I wanted to make sure that if it's everybody agree, because I didn't want to just shortchange and say, no, I need five, but no. So five is fine. We can start with five, and then if we are able, remember, if we are able to do more than five, great. So we can start with five. Yes. So that's one of your point, Dr. Gwen, we just answer.
And I think also if you're trying to recruit people, what are we recruiting people for? Like what is the agenda? Okay, if you're not willing to go to Tanzania for unknown reasons or whatever reasons, then what else could people do stateside to help the organization? That would be the other thing. What is the agenda of QHSC? Okay, if you want to be, I don't know, there's so many people in the community who are doing all the same things that you're trying to do. So what is it that QHSC, I guess, what's going to set QHSC apart from everything everybody else is doing? As you know, there's the Black Nurse Practitioner organization, there's the Black Nurses organization, there's all these different organizations who are constantly doing things in the community already. And so, what is our agenda that we're going to be able to recruit people for?
Thank you. That is a very good idea, Dr. Gwen, and I appreciate you raising it. So I was talking to Dr. Prank few times before, because we were trying to see what can we do, which day, which month should we do the medical mission, and what if we're not doing the medical mission, what can we do as an organization? And that's why exactly that's the point it comes in, because I want to be able to make sure that we have an honest conversation. So if you say, oh, I'm in QHSC, they said, what is that? You should be able to spit it out, what you need to do, what it is, what we are doing, and these are the projects we are doing separate from everybody else. So then you can advocate for the organization, so we know. And that's why I said we need to have people who wants to be involved and voice their opinion, like what Dr. Gwen right now you're doing, because then we can expand our thinking and see, okay, maybe let's try this project. Let me see this should be different from other organizations, because I agree with you. There's a lot of stuff that people are doing in the community. So in order to attract them to come to us, we have to have a better product to sell. And I'm not saying talking about money, just to publicize ourselves that we are doing something different than everybody else. I agree with you. So yes, we want to do training, sure. We want to do projects here in States, yes. We want to do community outreach projects here in the United States. So even if we're not going to the medical mission, sure. Because our goal, we don't want to say QHSC is always medical mission. No, medical mission is part of the project. 2 or 3 other projects were there also going to do it. Yes. So here in United States, what do we need to do? We started doing a little bit of the CPR here and there, going to the community. Yes, that's one project, but are we going to do that consistent? Maybe every quarter we go and do in the hospital, no, sorry, churches, because those are the area that usually is easier to get and access to it. Or that time when we went to the Leroy organization. So those are the things that we need to discuss. As board members, we need to be able to say, these are the projects that at least if we do it and we do this way, it's going to set us apart from other parts. So I don't want to inject all the information that this is only what we have. I have some of the ideas. I know Dr. Plank also had some ideas, but we want to be able to have the board members, let's discuss and be able to pick on that part. And that almost definitely is going to be the next month meeting, which because we have to itemize the stuff. So right now, definitely for Dr. Gwen, do you have something specific that you think you might set up the QHSC separate, and then we can start suggesting or create a list for it?
I've been thinking about what is it that we could do, that's different from what everybody else is doing. Yeah, the churches are oftentimes a good place to market yourself. You have, you know, Berean across the street from you, you know,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
and they have congregations of Hispanics, they have congregations of Haitians,
Mm-hmm.
Jamaicans, and so it's an international church. I mean, they have Chinese and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, to hook up with an ordinance or Christ Fellowship, do
Yeah.
churches like that if
Mm-hmm.
you want to do churches where they have people and people are going to participate, and that you would also have the building and you wouldn't have to worry about space and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that churches are a good way to start.
Yes. No, I agree with you, because
If
also,
you're what if you and it depends on what you want to do. I mean, if you only want to do CPR, or do you want to do information, like some of the churches have global outreach. Okay, so how could we address global outreach and the need for people to volunteer, that kind of thing. So I mean, there are several ways you could approach it, but we just have to figure out what it is we want to do, because not everybody wants to necessarily be involved in CPR. So how can we, if we're recruiting people, how else can we involve people? What do we have that you could be a speaker for QHSC. Okay, well, what do we want those people to talk about? Or
Mhm.
do we want to partner with an organization like partner with T. Leroy Jefferson Medical Society, which I think is a great idea. And I keep telling them, because they want to have an international global focus. And so at the meeting the other day, I said, well, I'm hoping that, and so, in using QHSC, that you may have to partner with an organization like that who's very well known and very effective in what they do in the community. And, so that might be, something you want to look into, a partnership with T. Leroy Jefferson.
No, I agree with that, but definitely. So last time when we did CPR with Dr. Sharon, she added the part of the hypertensive screening. So we were doing the blood pressure and stuff, and of course that population fits what she wanted us to do because there's a lot of people who, the follow up and stuff. So as nurses, we were able to do the screening. We didn't do as much because also there was no a lot of people who came, but see those who came, they were so excited. They're like, oh my goodness, we can do that. So that we were doing the screening. We did the vision acuity. We didn't have the optometrist there. We could have had that service too. So if we plan ahead, should be able to do those things. We can add things like that. As you said, if somebody wants to be a speaker, what other things that can we do as a group to be able to do? And if we are able to do that and we establish to partner with this other organization, can we do that quarterly? So we know for sure the whole year, next year, we're going to do that in March, June, and July. So we have certain dates. And then so you'll be able to help with the recruitment because some people say, I can't do March. I'm able to be able to do June. So at least we lock them from the beginning and people are in charge. Because if we keep just saying, okay, oh, next month we have, people say, oh, I can't do that next month. So then you're going to use a lot of energy to recruit them in June because you have to get them now going again. But if we say, this is the schedule, there's March, June, September, and some people can be, oh, I think I like June. So then we keep reminding them to make sure we don't lose them. That will help to make that consistency and then establish ourselves in the community. Definitely, we have to work with other organizations because we are not as big as other organizations. So, but if we work with them and they see consistency, we'll be able to show ourselves what we can do. Yes, I'm sorry, Ms. Post, I saw your hands. I wanted to finish what I was thinking.
Ah,
Go ahead.
Oh, no, that's fine. Dr. Gwen, how are you?
fine, how are you?
I'm good. Good to hear and see you. I know you can't see me because I'm driving, but
I can see
yeah,
you.
good to see you. Okay. Yeah, no, I was gonna say the organization, what's the name of that organization again?
T. Leroy Jefferson Medical Society.
Theodore Jackson. Remember
Okay,
we
yeah, I
did
think that's a
it's a big one. It's huge.
Because they're part of the National Medical, what is it? NMA, National Medical Society, which was the only society that African Americans could participate in. So, but I mean, they win a lot of awards. They
oh,
do a
okay.
lot of stuff, education, scholarships, all kinds of stuff in the community, in the high schools, all of those kind of places. So that's what I said. We have to figure out what it is that we want to do and
Mhm.
how we want to market ourselves.
Yeah, and we have you because
Yes.
you know the inside of there. So definitely we can have a different meeting, just sit down and say what they have, think that we can join in, and then so we can say
Yeah,
this item. So we don't have to overbook ourselves. As I said, everybody's
yeah,
busy.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
but I mean, I think that would be helpful that way, and then we can schedule. I said that would be the December meeting because the December meeting we're going to say, okay, these are the things that we're going to do the next year, and then so now we want people to sign up or engage in those things, so then we can make sure that these people commit certain things, and then they participate in that part. But also, I don't want to lose what you raised the point, Dr. Gwen, before the time to go to Tanzania. I do agree with you
Or
that.
can I finish what I was gonna say? I
Oh,
didn't get
I'm
that. I was
sorry.
just kind of greeting Dr. Gwen there.
Okay.
Never. So what I was going to say is I just wanted to get the name of the organization, of course, because I'm not familiar with them. But we have been talking about this for quite some time, And I constantly bring you up too to Dr. Gaboni, because we are looking for organizations like that so that we can start to collaborate with them, or if not, if just to go there, even to pitch, and to pitch the mission and also fundraising. And when I say mission, I don't mean like just going to Tanzania. I mean, like, if they want to help or contribute in any way to what it is that we're doing, uh, we want to get more exposure. We want to spend more time doing these collaborative meetings with these different organizations. We did one last year, or this year, should I say, with the Wake Up Everybody, and that one we got, I think, was about 5 volunteers, and I mean, when we go to these organizations, probably like you're mentioning, we get volunteers who are really ready to rock and roll. So that's what we want, So that's part of the answer to what you're asking. Also, I think that we have an experience that is transformative and that it is unique to what it is that we do. And we know, because like we had several people went with us to Tanzania. These people, they travel all the time. They go everywhere. They South Africa, Ghana, here, there, everywhere, and they love it. They're going to stay with us, and they're going to continue working with us. So hopefully this year we'll have a bigger team. And then some of them are on social media, and Bree knows that we've been talking about this. When we were in Tanzania, there was right by the hotel, there's this little place where they do like, branding and all that stuff like that. So I went in there with one of the volunteers because we did a career day, and they wanted to do a big poster of the Nguzu Saba because they wanted to talk about careers and career development, stuff like that. But they wanted to use the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. So they went in there and they got this big poster made. So I asked them, I was like, well, what are your prices? If you're going to make like the little posters that we use on the internet, um, how much would you charge? I think it was like $96. So they did 5 little mini posters that I have now that we can use for the food insecurity program or the nutrition program that we can start to use to post on social media. So we're going to start to come up with these little posters. I might be able to generate them myself, or we might have to go back to them to get some more. But we'll have these little posters, and we'll be able to start posting them on social media. And then we're going to have a team of people who will just help to share those posters as they're posted and they come up. So we'll be hitting LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, places like that. So we'll be promoting the messages, like you said. So what is your message? So then maybe on Monday they'll get a message about nutrition program and the importance of nutrition. Maybe on Tuesday they get a poster on infant mortality, or what it is that we're doing in Tanzania, or how we've impacted professionalism in Tanzania, things like that. So it's going to be something that will be ongoing all year round. So it'll be a major presence, and that's one of the things that I see. There's a lot of organizations that actually do that. So we're going to start to do that as well. So that's one of the things we want to do. We definitely want to collaborate more with these organizations because we're finding the types of professionals that we need, because there's a lot of people who might be interested in going to Tanzania and experiencing and seeing and stuff like that, but their hearts may not be as into it as much as someone like yourself or me or Bree or Dr. Gabon. So that's why we definitely do want to network with more of these organizations. So, and we've been talking to some other people, and we're coming up with a plan. And actually, we're still working on it, but we're going to have a much more specific and detailed plan for a lot of the things that we're doing with the organization. So it's going to be, the emphasis is going to be more on the organization and interacting with the various communities, as opposed to just the medical mission or what we need to do in September. But that's about it there, I think.
Okay.
Okay, so no,
Then you need, like, if you're talking about these people who can do media, then you just set up teams, like a media team. These people are responsible to do, because like I'm not good at media, so that's not something I want to be involved in. You know what I mean? When I'm lecturing, I can barely get through my
Yeah, so that's what we are saying, Dr. Gwen, that we want to itemize things that potentially be done from starting next year to whatever. So we want to put those things already there and have put the posting, identify jobs, like, okay, so people to help with the media. So this is the spot. We need 3 people here. We need 2 people here. We need to, or on the gala, we have already people in the gala who wants to volunteer and work in the gala. So we have their names there. So by December, we should be able to have those things. Yes. People who are dealing with the media, yes, they're going to be worried about, okay, like what Frank was saying, just posting that, make sure that this visibility increases out there, or awareness increases for what we are doing, upcoming things. So people say, okay, I can't go to Cross Ministry this month, but okay, the next month, this is the date. So people should know, like, alternative. Okay, maybe should I go this one? Should I go that one? And then let us know. And so somebody should be constantly follow it up. So it's not like only one person is following.
Right.
No, people should be like, okay, this
Right.
person is going to be following up with community outreach.
Right.
That person is going to be constantly updating us to know. So everybody should own those parts, so then to make it more consistent and follow it up. If somebody is responsible to see all this outreach and get those connections with the different organization, we want to be able to come and report and then say, okay, we have, let's say, 2 visits with T. Jefferson. We have maybe 2 visits with Wu. We have another things with 2 churches. So we have all that. Okay, so now we're worried about training.
Yes.
We're gonna have, okay, this training gonna be maybe March and May and July. So we need to have that level of commitment, and then so people know, whoever is dealing with people to presentation, they need to be able to say, okay, I need your presentation. You're going to present this date. This is what we need. Okay, we advertise, we do this. We have to be able to have people who are focusing. So when we are asking, the answer is going to be somebody's already followed up, instead of like, oops, only one person is following every single person. Is not going to work. But going back, I said, I still want to answer your question about the time to go to Tanzania. We do understand and
Can I
recognize
just
that.
can I just say one more thing, please? So Dr. Gwen, so that's, I mean, I think we kind of realize that maybe social media is not your forte. So we do have people that we've identified, definitely Steve Jones, myself, Bree. If Dr. Gabon can help out as well, then that would be fine too. But if you could, just introduce us and get us the opportunities to present ourselves to these organizations, I think that would be great. And you do a lot already as it is. So it's, just want to thank you for, all that you do already. So, all right. And that's it. I'm done. But I didn't want to change the topic. All right.
Going to Tanzania in September, it's no longer expected. So we are trying to change the time. We're trying to put in summertime. I do agree with you that September is hard for a lot of people to go at that time, because either the kids are going back to school and stuff like that. I mean, that time we selected that month is for 2 things. Yes, of course, that's the time I had time off, so that's the time I could go. But also the second part was the fare. The tickets are cheaper that time compared to the summertime. So it was, because it usually start, I think, August 24th, or it's cheaper that way. So that's why but usually summertime, the ticket is expensive. So we have to see what works better, and then so yes, we're gonna try to put the next mission in the summertime. So that means more like it's not going to be next year, it's gonna be the following year, because we have to give ourselves time to build stuff. That's why we are trying to make sure things are more efficient this time. And then so my thought is like we're gonna continue discussing, and as I said, we have to have an honest discussion like this one, to say, we're going to say, we have anesthesia program here, meaning that they're going to work in the OR and training the doctors and intubation and stuff like that. We want 5 people in that program. So we have Dr. Gwen, we have 2 or 3 people. So we need to purposefully recruit other people who you want to go and work with. So we have a complete set of the team. And then so by the time we are going over there, we know for sure, we tell Dr. Banela, Dr. Gwen is going to be there for 4 days. That means you're going to be there for 4 days continuously. Like there's no, okay, we're going to put you at noon time to go to school. No, we want you guys to be at the hospital actually working, started the shift. So then we can see the impact at the end of those 4 days. They really learn something from you versus, okay, Dr. We're going to be here today. No, next time we're going to go to Kilo. No. And then so to address the fees, I mean, the tickets, the high prices for the summertime, to address that part, because I still don't want people to pay out of pocket more than 3,000. That's just my cutoff. I try as much as I can for the ticket and the logistics. So now we are working with the 2 hospital, Kilo Hospital and in Mwananyamala, that if people are going there and we give them 4 days, we want them to pay the rest of the staff over there. So we want people to pay their ticket. So even if the ticket is higher than expected, but we want the logistic part to be covered by them. And then so Kira was saying that this year they were like, oh yeah, we can do, but we can do only for 3 people. I'm like, no, it doesn't work that way. You are helping us, we help the whole group because we are coming as a group and we can't say, okay, these people are going to be here. No, we're not doing that part. You want us to come and help you? Yes. But then for them, they said, if you're doing that, we want 4 days full, like from morning to evening and go and do the whole shift to work in the unit. I said, yes, we would have to do that part. So for them, at least as of now, they said if that's the case, they're willing to do that part. So we're still negotiating stuff because that's only part of the healthcare. And I told them, when I bring the healthcare workers, I still bring the non-healthcare worker because we're going to have the community that to work with that healthcare group. So you still have to cover that part. So we're still going back and forth with that part because that's why I said if they want us to go to their hospital for 4 days and they're willing to provide the housing for them, the Kilo people, because they have, the officers' mess where the police stays. So they want to be able to do that part. But I'm asking them, they need to add the community outreach, like screening and stuff. We can go and do those things in the community for non-healthcare workers. So then they'll be involved and still be covered. Because I don't want to say healthcare worker is going to pay 1,500, while the non-healthcare worker is going to pay 2,700. It's not going to work that way. We are going as a group, so they need to be able to find the things that they can do that same way. We do have like a vision screening. So non-healthcare can be in the community helping that, but that community around the hospital. So that's why, and for them also, they were suggesting that we can go, not only Dar es Salaam, they're willing to pay for us to go to the capital, which is in Dodoma, in the middle of the country. They will pay for everything. As long as we get there, they take us over there. But I mean, there's advantage. Advantage is we don't have to shelter the prices and stuff for logistic, food and everything. They will feed us and everything like that. The downside is because they're going to control what we want us to do for the day. Right. So we have to be able to figure it out. What are we willing to do and how much can they cover us? So they are seeing the importance of us being there. And that's why I want to show the impact that we want to be able to go there and say, we're going to give you 4 days. There's nothing about it. Yes. So should we get 2 teams? That's the discussion that's what we're going to have. Should we get 2 teams? Let's say maybe we have for anesthesia. I'm going to give an example because you are here. For anesthesia, should we get 2 teams for anesthesia so you'll be in charge of that. So 1 team goes to Mwananyamala, 1 team goes to Kilo. So all those teams stays 4 days. We don't have to take them 2 days. No. 4 days, 4 days. So, but you are going to be in charge. You'll be here Monday and then Tuesday you can go over there. You're still working there, but you have 4 other people who are doing there, even if it's 2 people. If you think that's what maybe things that you're going to do only 2 people, I agree with that part, but we do 2 people, so they cover both places for 4 days. So we have an impact. People that we work with, the doctors and nurses that we work with, they will see that we are there every single day. And same thing, if the people who are going to school, then yes, they're going to go in the school and do their 4 days or 2 weeks like that. People who are non-healthcare workers, they can come and help this 1 day for doing the training at the hospital. The same thing we did for thermoregulation. That is going to be still continue that part. But I want the healthcare worker part to go from here. We know the team. So then you have enough time to prepare, Dr. Gwen, to say you have your 2 teams, 4 people, 6 people, whatever you want. You work with them. Okay, we're going to do the introduction. So we're going to give the lecture maybe in March and June. So then you teach them. When you go there, now we're going to do demonstration when in end of July, that's the medical mission. So we have to be that purposeful. So then at least they know for sure we are coming. And then of course we start raising things now. We're going to do the intubation. We have to get the ET tube, the laryngoscope and all the stuff, find money or whatever to make sure we have those supplies with us. We're not going to rely on the people who are just handing out for over stuff. No, you're going to the OR. We need to get maybe 100 bed sheets. We need to get 100 bed sheets with us. When we go there, you take care of those patients, you make sure they're covered. We do exactly this. We need the PPE. We need to get those PPE with us. So that's the level that I want to be able to get there. Because if they're willing to pay for us, at least to reduce that cost, then yes, we should be able to spend our time also here to get the supplies that we need when we go there and deliver care. We actually go and work in the hospital. So people can use their expertise, because I know people are coming because their expertise. I want you to go and use your expertise there so people can benefit, versus us to go and just do a little bandage and leave. And then, yeah, we started getting used and then we leave. So that's the thought that I am having. That's why we were trying to push a little bit, give us ourselves time, raise money to have consistent. So if we have enough money to run the organization, every day things is covered, and then we get corporate sponsor, then we are able to do, okay, the corporate sponsor can help, maybe 20% goes to anesthesia supplies. Maybe to another 20% it goes to the postpartum hemorrhage or CPR. We should be able to get to the level that part. We're not depending on individual small donors to fund the projects, because those projects we should be able to say, oh, for anesthesia project, we need $15,000. Because we already counted, we need the sheets, we need the PPE, we need this, we need that. But if somebody willing to support the anesthesia program, yes. If we don't get somebody to support the anesthesia program, but they support the Qhsc, the group, and then we have maybe 20% is going to go to help the medical mission. So the money from there, we can say the percentage, remember, that's the board is going to decide how many percentages that is going to be adequate for each program. Or if each program did not get the funds that is required, how can we support it? Because we're not going to say, let it fail because we didn't raise enough money. We don't do that, because if the project needs the money and we have the money in organization, it should be contingent that we raise enough money. We should be able to take a certain amount, like 10%, 20% to go to each project. And those projects should be voted on already to say, we're going to focus on 5 projects and that's it. And those 5 projects has to be really stable 5 projects to be able to say, that's what it requires. That's what we need to raise money, and that's how we need to do it. Because if we do that, we organize. So when we collect the supplies, it's going to be purposeful supplies of those things or devices. So we know for sure I have 3 ventilators. I have this for this hospital. And then so they know for sure that they're going to come and get those supplies. And that's what the level that we need. So it's going to be a little bit easier to recruit people, because as I said, Dr. Gwen, you're right. If people are asking, what exactly am I going to, if I come, I'm going to do? Okay, we have an anesthesia program. This is what we have. And this is what we're going to do. As a part of an anesthesia team, you're going to be doing this and this and this and this. So you should be able to explain without even me being there, which is fine, because you know exactly what is required on that area. And that's what we want. We need to be on that level. The same thing for breathe, for example, for postpartum hemorrhage. Yes, I need, I don't know, 5,000 pads. I need $5,000 to be able to buy pads, to be able to buy scale, to be able to do this. All this I need. So then when you go there, you go to the labor and delivery, you'll be able to use the bed sheets. If we need the sheets, so we need those plastic white blankets or something like that. Then yes, we need to go to the OR. Yes, we need to do OR seats. So we need to do PPE, the same thing like that. The gowns that your friend gave us, great. We need to get the hat. Do you know, Dr. Gwen, when we went there, we went to the OR, they were sharing the hats, those little fancy thing.
Aw,
Yeah, because
really?
they take it ahead and give it to somebody else. They give even the breed to wear.
Aw.
Yes, so things like that, because we wanted to be able to do that. And I'm like,
No.
no. So, I mean, once we have a purpose for the same thing, we're going to school. We want the backpack should have enough stuff. And the backpack for the kids should be a little bit sturdier, that they have everything they need to be able to do that. And that's what I said, we have to say, if we buy for 1,000 kids, we have 1,000 notebook, 1,000, whatever we need to get for that backpack should be heavy enough for the kids to get the supplies. How much is it going to cost? So if people are doing for school, they're working on the supplies, we need $10,000 to buy those kids. And then so when we're leaving from here, we are shipping those stuff, we have adequate supplies that we get there. And it's considered, not say, oh, we don't have crayons, we're going to give one piece of crayons for every kid. I mean, we have to do because we don't have the alternative. But next time we are going, it has to be adequate amount of supply that the children need for sports. We have jerseys, we have shin guards for safety, we have socks, we have shoes, we have whatever for those kids, we have enough balls for them to play. We need to be able to say we need $10,000, $15,000, I don't know, $20,000 for 30 kids. They have their jerseys and stuff like that.
I have a question. If
Yes.
I just came back from doing a review of a nurse anesthesia program in Pittsburgh, and one of the professors there, she gets all kinds of equipment that, hospitals don't want anymore and all that kind of stuff. And so they live in Pittsburgh. So I said I wanted to find out. So if they're in Pittsburgh, how would we get the equipment from her? How she has anesthesia machines and all kinds of stuff. So how would we get the equipment from her house to Pahrump? How could that be done?
So we can we know, first of all, probably when they're giving you the stuff, we need a picture so we know how big they are, because there's two ways. One way we can just ship them to go to the agency, the person who is shipping, or we can ask the agents to come and pick it up, because it depends on where the seat they're in. Usually they have a truck go around and pick it up and then ship them.
Mm-hmm.
If it's something that we can ship there for post or something that, or somebody's passing by, sure. But if we know ahead of time and we know how many things that they're giving out, yeah, I can talk to that guy, and then they usually do rounds. The problem is they don't come to Florida, which drives me crazy every time I ask him. They say, don't know, we have to go to Atlanta or something like that. So North Carolina, Pennsylvania, it might be on the route for them to pick it up.
This would be in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh,
Yeah, I
yes.
think Pittsburgh will be a little closer because they're in Maryland.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then, yeah, we can ask them, as long as we know the address and stuff, we can ask them if they're able to pick it up, sure. And if not, then we have to make arrangement and try either somebody pick them up or shipping or something like that. And that's what I said, if we are planning ahead, we know for sure we need certain equipment. It will be easier to say, okay, for anesthesia, we know we need this and this and this, and this person have already donated this stuff. So we can go and collect it. How are we going to get it? So we can make that arrangement. And that's why we need that basic amount in the organization. So we are going to start working and to try and see whatever we are raising amount for the organization, what are the percentages going to either shipping, mission, and daily function of the organization. So we have to have that standard. So when we get the money, because we know we're going to get the money, so we're able to use. So asking them to go and pick it up, to go and ship it for us, it should be an expected thing that is going to happen, because people are going to start giving us bigger stuff now because we are purposefully asking for the right things. So they're going to give us specific stuff. And of course, if you're doing for individual project, advertising and stuff like that, then yes, somebody's going to say, oh, I have this equipment. Do you want it? Sure. If they're able to ship it to that guy and the guy accepts it and take it, then they write off, because some organization wants to do that, so they can write off to give it to a non-profit. They can do that. And then we can give them the letter that we accepted the equipment. And then so we can take it with us, yeah. And shipping the stuff also to Tanzania is going to be more than once. So now if we have specific project like that and you're already talking to people, we know for sure they're coming. So there, it's easier to tell Dr. Penela, okay, this thing is coming this time. Can you go and pick it up? And he doesn't have a problem. He's been very good. He always go and jump and get the stuff for us. When the things were delivered last year late, yeah, he's the one who organized and helped us to get the stuff and took it to Mwananyamala, and then our QHSC colleagues, they went and got it from him. So he doesn't have a problem. He will go and get it.
How many ORs did they have at the base?
For
I
Kilwa?
don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember seeing an OR.
No, we didn't go. We didn't go there. I think they had 2 room, right?
They had like a pre-op room, and then they had like a little room where they did surgeries, but it was nothing. I don't even think you would consider it an OR, Dr. Randall. So
No, but it is OR for them. So they had that, but they use 2 bed, like the little standing, immovable things stand up there. So they have those. They can do 2. But yeah, it is a room.
it's a
Oh.
room. I don't think they can do like major.
Yeah, I saw it before, but I saw that room, but I didn't remember it actually being like OR efficient at all.
No, it's not. It's not. In fact, Tequila is even um lacks a lot of things compared. Mwananyamala is level 2, so level 2 is getting better. It has a lot of stuff. And right now, Dr. Gwen, if you see the ICU, oh no, it is beautiful. We were so you
Yeah.
see the video that we were posting. Um,
Oh, Dr. Randall, I have so much to show you. I just didn't want to like bombard the group, but I took pictures and videos of everything. So
they
Nice.
have the
Okay.
crash card. They have this. So they said, yeah,
Well,
Dr.
they had the crash cards there before.
No,
They had crash
remember, didn't
carts.
have the stuff.
they
Oh
were all
yeah, but you
up
know,
with the
yeah,
meds.
but we had the anesthesia person who was working in there, and then
Mhm.
he was working with one of the charge nurses, so they were getting that together because I basically stocked the cart and everything like it should have been before I left. And so that was good. We just got all the pediatric stuff out of it because they were all stocked with pediatric supplies. Like, okay.
No, but
Yeah,
now the ICU, even the bed and stuff with the monitors, cardiac monitors. I mean, it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful,
yeah.
and they're gonna have
Well,
an
they
ICU.
went out to training too. They went out
Yes.
to training to the other facility. And so that was really good. They came back with a lot of ideas and
Mhm.
a lot of how to now. They know how to do things now. So that was good. Yeah.
No, they were very
Yeah.
good. They came and started talking to us. I mean, it's a huge difference. I mean, I was impressed. I was definitely impressed. And they have like the obstetric ICU, which is like they're getting the high acuity and stuff. Beautiful. They were not moving in yet, but it was beautiful. And then they had the pediatric side. It was, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, no, it was gonna be. Then that's why I said when I saw that, I'm like, I wish I had the ICU nurses here. Just stay here and work with them.
Yeah.
They're willing to work.
Right.
Remember, they were coming and talking to us and stuff, and we were listening, and we had the patient that they were feeding and oh my goodness, it was. And that's why I said I want the nurses and the doctors to be able to work with these people. Get a shift, stay with them the whole day, see all the patients,
Yeah.
and do whatever you need to do because that's what they need. They don't need these two
Yep.
minutes here, 5 minutes here. No, they don't need that. They need to actually do the round with them and then start seeing patients. When they're taking care of the patient, you are standing right there, evaluate with them, discuss with them and stuff. They want to learn. They need to be able to get that opportunity. So we need to be able to do that. And I said, my hope is that like we can do these groups, but have 2 groups, but the leader is going to be able to move back and forth. We can arrange, I mean, transportation between wherever. That's fine. As I said, as long as if they pay the logistic part over there, at least we're going to have some money to be able to say, okay, the car take the leader from this hospital, go to the other hospital, so then at least you can monitor both units, I mean both hospitals. But at least they will get
Right.
people who can stay there for 4 days so they get the maximum impact. Because we
Yeah.
have done already enough seeing and signing and collecting information to see what we can do. But now we need to work, use our
Yeah.
expertise, we need to work. So, and then at the end of all
I
this,
think
we
that
need
I
to.
think that's a good idea to have everyone there at least, 4 days continuous and so, and follow up and all that kind of stuff. So that's good. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, okay, so the month now we're thinking, as I said, not next year, the following year, in June or July. We're still trying to figure out the dates for the tickets and see what Nobel is going to tell us. And we're trying to gauge this year and see which is better throughout June, July, and August, those 3 months, we're trying to figure it out. More like it's going to be close to the July part, but we're trying to see which one is going to be easier and price wise, at least, is not as too extreme. And definitely, it's going to be summertime. So, but we're going to use the whole year at least to get ready for a lot of stuff to make sure that we are, by the time we go, we know each other. Okay, I'm going to be doing this and this with my team and stuff, and everybody knows, almost like you're going on assignment. We want to be able to do that, to talk to them even before we get there, so at least we understand and things that we need to address and get surprised before we get there. At least we know that part. So we need to do that. Yes, Ms. Poso?
And at least have a better idea of, what they need, because when we go, we're just kind of trying to figure it out when we're there. And I don't think
Exactly.
sometimes we're adequately prepared to,
Mhm.
I mean, from my perspective,
Yes.
adequately prepared to, give them what they need on site. And so at
Yes.
least if we know ahead of time, this is what we need, and these are the kind of, topics we need to discuss, or this is the kind of equipment that we would like to have and we don't have, and, be able to work diligently on getting some of those things and taking people who can help them with them.
No, I
Yeah.
agree, definitely. That's what I said. We're gonna know from talking to them, engage them. I mean, Dr. Benella, he's excited. Yeah, he
Yeah.
wants, because I told him, I said, we're gonna do a little bit different. We want to make sure you guys come and talk to us before we get there. So we
Right.
know for sure you don't need, you need this. That's the thing that we need to bring. We don't need to bring 1,000 things and then only you can use half of it and the rest are just staying in the storage. No, we're not doing that. We want everything
Right.
we bring is gonna be useful and used while we are
Right.
there. So that'll be good. Did you want to say
Okay.
something?
Oh,
Miss
yes, I was going to say that we're going to encourage everyone, since the trip has been pushed back, they can actually start saving. So it may be a little more expensive in terms of the airfare, but
Yeah.
now you can put away $100 a month or 200, whatever, and start saving up and make it a little easier
Yeah.
financially. So.
Yeah.
Agree. So
So we even though we don't know the exact date, we know more or less what time it is, so we can already start saving. And then I was going to say, we also have, I think it's about two people have already volunteered. They said they want to go, So we got about two already. That's not including, core people like ourselves.
no, which is good. So the right now it's only like the four of us who knows that the chances of we want them to pay for our logistic. So we're not going to make it known outside until I sign that contract with them, because I want to make sure that, because I don't want them to come back and then find out people. I told them to save only 1,500, and now they're gonna have to save up to 3,000. So we still give them the idea that usually for the last 4 years the medical mission has cost at least 3,100, and that's it. And we don't want to go higher than that, but we are making ways of to lower that number. And then once we are successful, hopefully by the time people start paying, then they will know for sure how much it is, and by then we will know for sure if we already signed the contract and they know for sure that they're going to cover it. Yes, because we're going to try to sign the contract which is with 3 to 5 years, in a sense that if we started doing those things, the promise to commit and pay for those things for 3 years. So when I'm recruiting people for now, I'm going to say yes. So because if people who are going the next mission, that is, they only pay maybe for their ticket, I don't want them to say, okay, I want to go back, and they said, oh, no, now you have to pay back 3,000. No, if they want us to do that and continue recruiting people, if it's cheaper, people are going to be willing to go there to be able to do, and then hopefully come back again. Especially if it's efficient and people feel like they can use their skills there, then different people are going to say, oh, I want to go and do that part. Yeah. And still, of course, we're going to continue doing those 3 days of the break. At least people relax a little bit and then come back and work again. So. Okay, so I know you're asking about what you miss, Frank, and I need your vote. I was suggesting that each board member or a leader recruit 10 people for a year, and then during the discussion, Bree and Dr. Gwen both agree that 10 people is too much, so they are suggesting 5. So how many people do you think could be appropriate. Remember, this is just a voting.
You mean, I'm sorry, what, and you, because you broke up a little bit. So you said, do we want to keep the same amount of board members? I'm not sure if that's what you were.
No, 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 no. We're talking about each board member is supposed to recruit 10 people for a year.
Okay,
So
yes.
they were suggesting that because it's starting and everybody have not done this before, at least. So if people recruit more than 5, great. They recruit 10, that's even better. But to start with, they wanted to recruit 5 at least and see if people can recruit 5. And then so the 2 of them already voted and said, yes, 5 will be better, Dr. Gwen and Bree. So I'm asking you, is 5 better
Yeah, I
or
think
you
that,
still think 10 should be
well,
better?
yeah, we could say 5, minimum 5, you know, um, and then optimal 10. I mean, but yeah, I guess that would be true because we are doing something a little different, or we are encouraging them. And then even though some people do recruit, but to make it, more widespread, yeah. So I think 5, yeah, that might be a good way to start instead of like just throwing all that responsibility on someone like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so 5. So at least we have 3 votes. So I'm gonna ask the other board members and to hear what they say, and then so we can finalize to see. But I think I agree with you. 5 is a good number they can start because 5 this year, 5 next year. The organization is gonna grow, and I'm sure if there'd be more than 5, that's even better. Okay, so we got that answered for Dr. Gwen. We already changed the time, so it's gonna be more likely summertime. That'll be 2026. And then 2 medical mission, it's gonna still be 2 weeks because I don't think anybody is gonna get more than 2 weeks at a time. I know a lot of people usually would be like only 1 week. So we are hoping.
Because I was gonna say I've heard you tell people that it's 2 weeks and 2 days to travel there. So
Yeah,
is it 2 weeks plus 2 days, or is it 2 weeks including the 2 days?
no, 2 weeks plus 2 days, travel days.
So then that's 16 days.
Yeah, so but it also depends on when you were getting the tickets. Remember, like last time we got the ticket on Friday morning, and then by the time we come back is Sunday, so that's 16, right? But there's
Right.
also a year before we left on Saturday morning and we came back on Sunday. So that was 13. I mean, 14, yeah, because Saturday it didn't count for the weekend and stuff like that. So obviously the mission is always for 2 weeks. I mean, like Monday through Friday, Monday through Friday. And then
So it's possible that it could be an extra 2 days
yes.
or an extra 1 day, whatever.
Yeah, because if too expensive to get a ticket on Friday, then more like people are gonna leave on Saturday. Because remember, that's why we tried to figure that part out last time. We try. I mean, I know this is the first time we went on Friday, early Friday, and then we had the Sunday off when we got there. But most of the time for the
Right.
previous years, we were leaving here Saturday morning and then get there Sunday afternoon, and then Monday start working. So and everybody's like,
It was better this year the way we did it, I feel.
Yes, because it was a little break, so people like that way. Yes, so. Well, that's why I always say 2 weeks plus 2 days traveling because I don't know when we're gonna get the ticket. When it's gonna be cheaper. And also, I mean, I think in Miami people are the one who leave early. The rest of the people usually leave on Friday, on Saturday. Like DC people leave on Friday. I'm sorry, Saturday. It's only for us. We left on Friday morning. But anyway, okay, so we did answer those questions for you. And then so we say other than the mission, yeah, we're gonna add it so the church and stuff. So we have to do some investigation to see if the church is, I mean, us visiting the church, I have to talk back to Dr. Sharon and see if we're gonna do only 1 time or 2 time. Valentine's church, she didn't say anything. I'm gonna talk to my church also and see if they're gonna give us a date or they're gonna give us an opportunity to go there. So if they do, then at least we can do one church with Dr. Sharon and then another church with us, and then we do the other project with T.D. Roy's Jefferson. And I'm not sure how many activities they have other than the one that we attended. Do they do other activities?
Uh, for her church, or
No, no,
for
no.
the organization itself. The organization is an organization which is pretty much geared to mentoring, and they're mentoring young youth, scholarships and things like that. They don't do they do one big health fair a year, and that's
Okay.
prior to going back to school. And they always do that, and it's a big one. But during the course of the year, they don't do a lot of health stuff.
Okay.
So you can talk to, I'll get the information for you, and you can talk and see with them in terms of how we can partner or what they're looking for. I'll talk to the director tomorrow,
Okay.
and then the president is Dr. Who is he? Uh, he's a big orthopedic guy, and he just opened a whole big sports orthopedic center, for youth and all kinds of stuff. I forgot his name, but
Oh,
anyway, I'll get the information to you. Huh?
no, I said we should
Which
get
one's
him
on
to
one?
go to the school and see the kids.
Oh, well, yeah. If you can talk him into going.
Magnet will be excited.
Hmm. Yeah,
They,
that would be exciting for him because he does a lot with youth. Pretty much everything they do is youth oriented, but
okay.
they have all of the Black physicians in the community that are involved in the organization. Everybody who's anybody is in the organization, nurse
Wow.
practitioners and things like that too. So I mean, they do a lot of partnering with people who are doing, we do this big thing. And I think we had, I don't know, something like 2,000 kids that came for a day where they just went from room to room. They learned about different professions. They got a chance to talk to different people. We had these guest speakers who came. So that's a big event that they do like every year,
Okay.
too. Global missions could be a part of that,
Okay.
talk
No,
about
definitely.
global
Yeah.
missions.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you get me that
So I can talk
name.
to Lauren
Okay.
tomorrow. Lauren Dalton she's the director,
Okay.
and talk to Lauren about like even getting you on the agenda when they have a meeting. Dr. Coleman is his name. I forgot. Dr.
Okay.
Coleman.
Okay. No, that would be good. Yeah, I mean, if we have those, and then of course we have our cross ministry, so that would be fine. So if we have, I mean, two churches and then um a project with TD Roy Jefferson, that'll be fine. We have Wu already, so we're gonna try to do that. So if we spread them out, like every month we have one thing, little activity here and there, that would be good because at least it give us the visibility out there, and then we give a different group of people participating instead of just the same people over and over and over. So at least to give them
Yeah.
options to, yeah. So and the more
Right.
people go and the more exposure we get, so that would be good. And then of course the education part is still there. So like do the training, especially once we have the groups, because the whole year we're not going, it does not mean that we're not teaching them still, because our goal and our mission is to educate. So the same thing for school. If we get the teachers, we're going to try to get them either to record something and then you can play over there, or over there recording something and then so we can play up here.
We need to work on better participation from the people in Tanzania too, because we can set up whatever we want to set up. If they don't participate, or we're not really fulfilling their needs or what they really need. Because how many times did I ask, okay, can you guys please send me information on what you want us to talk about? Because I had speakers that wanted to talk, but I didn't really get any feedback in terms of what they needed.
Yeah, so I mean, I
The
know that
ICU
they
people.
do have challenges of the network and stuff. I agree with you, but most of the time, I think now I can see um the push to participate from Dr. Benera, because he can see the option, because he wants his medical staff to be, like the best. So getting the training and stuff, I can see him. And if I tell him that I want people to be registered for them to come and to do the class, he is going to make them.
Yeah, but I want them to tell us what classes they need so they can benefit from, not to us just to do classes that we think they need, but what classes can they actually benefit from? And that's what I didn't get feedback on, like,
I think
okay, how can we help you?
sometimes I think they don't know what they don't know.
Oh,
Sometimes it's
okay.
hard because remember, Brie, when you were talking to them, I mean, I'm not an ICU nurse, so at least I know some basic stuff that the med-surg nurse should know. But when they are talking and asking questions, and then of course Brie was asking the questions, and then we have the pharmacist asking question, Dr. Mrs. Akimbi, she was asking medication and stuff. You can see them struggle. So we knew medication is one of the things, like the effect and stuff. We knew that part. So for the nursing part, yes, the care of the patient and stuff, the respiratory, if the patient is struggling to breathe, are you feeding the patient? Positioning wise, I mean, of course, Bree is going to talk about the Foley catheter hanging. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that there's basic stuff. Even if you ask them, they're not going to say, we don't know about this, because they don't know that they don't know. You know what I mean? So I think we have to start with basic. So let's say anesthesia 101, and you think, for example, vent. So let's put them 3 or 4. We make sure that these 3 or 4 people are assigned to come and have a discussion with you guys here. It might not even be a lecture, just to have a discussion. Do you have this? Or maybe we'll sit in the ICU and then show me what you need to do for the event or something like that. When you have that conversation specific like that, you can see them either struggle and ask the question. Remember, there came 2 of them started asking, what about this? So should we change this? Should we change that? I'm like, oh, I'm not sure about that part, but we have to be able to go and ask to get more information for you. But sometimes they don't know what they don't know, until when Brie was looking at the chat and say, okay, what about this? What about that? Okay, why did you put this here? So then they start explaining, and then like, oh, does that mean? Okay, yeah, that it does. So then you can see that critical thinking. When you ask them the question, then they can answer, and you can see them connecting the dot. Other than saying, okay, what should we help? They're like, oh, we're good. So why the patient is diabetic? Why do you do this? Why do this? And like, then they start explaining, and they're like, what do you mean? What should we do this? So it's gonna be, we have to help them along until they get used to us, and then say, oh, I don't know about that part. So we have to be able to get, as I said, I know Benera wants that, and I know for the Kilwa, the police, we don't have an issue. If we say we need this day, they're going to be ordered. For Kilwa, some of them were off that day and they were told, you show up tomorrow. You show up for the CPR. That's why we had like 32 people. You show up that day and you have to stay there for the whole day to learn.
For them, you almost have to start at square one, because even with the CPR, they found an AED, and I tried to teach it like as soon as they found it, but they didn't understand why we were doing it. So I had to backtrack all the way, show them what an EKG was, show them what an arrhythmia was, why you do this for this arrhythmia versus this arrhythmia. And even what I did there, I mean, the amount that we got accomplished in a day and a half was amazing. But if I could go back now and redo it all over again, I would show them even the anatomy of the heart. Okay, this is, first it does the SA node through the bundle of his and this and that. I would go from square one, because then once they start connecting the dots, they're amazing. They understand what they're doing. And it's a completely different, they're completely different nurses. So you almost have to start from nursing 101 and then work your way down.
I think for them, they know the theory as they read it, not in practical sense. So if you recite and ask, they're going to spit it out information. Mm-hmm. But the problem is, if you show them, okay, this is the EKG machine, they can't do it because they did not do it in practical sense. So definitely, I agree with Bree that you have to start from the beginning and see whether, if they can answer, then you can elevate to the next level. If you think they're here and you can ask them, because they don't know, they don't. So until she started showing the rhythm and stuff, okay, yeah, but why do you have to do that? Okay, then rewind. But and that's why I said we have to start doing the training now, and then so we can help them when we get there. Because at least we have to base, I mean, like even if it's as basic as they can, it might not be maybe the actual nice lecture, just have a conversation, start asking one of the things, and then probably 2 or 3 slides. This is how you do. So when they start seeing, okay, it's going to be a discussion, and they're going to be like, oh yeah, I can do that. And as I said, they were taken to go to training and stuff like that. But is it clinical wise? I mean, did they actually demonstrate those things? Did they actually touch the ventilator and play around with the little button and stuff with the numbers? We kept saying, how come the monitor show here the heart rate is too the heart rate is too high? She's like, oh, that's okay. No, what do you mean? Why is it okay too high? But I mean, it's a lot of stuff, but you can see they get excited to learn, which is, I mean, I don't know. I felt so relieved to see them wants to learn, especially Kirwa. They were so excited that they were learning all that EKG. They see Tanya had that, like the pulse rate, and then changing we put the stickers on her. And then she coughed, to change the rhythm, and then they can see on the monitor. They were so excited. So, I mean, something like that, you can see them glued and they're right there, they want to see it. And so we need to be able to find at least 2 or 3 defibrillators.
I love Dr. Benella's hospital, but Qhsc, because there's such a need for everything. I mean, they need everything. It was really that makes me want to go back. And even if I could spend 3 weeks to just re-educate and do everything, but that was really cool.
Yeah. And then I said, for Kira now, those are the ones who are willing to pay for the accommodation and stuff like that, and food, but they want at least longer, but they want us to be in the unit actually working with the nurses and the doctors when they're working. That's what they want.
How many nurses and doctors do they have there?
This will be just a pure guess. It might be probably close to 200, but it's different shifts, different areas.
Really?
Yeah. So this hospital is not that big. They're expanding, but it's not that big. They were talking about there's another hospital that has 2,500 employees.
Wow. Okay.
Like a Qhsc hospital, like another Qhsc, or?
No, in another police hospital.
Oh.
But it has, yeah. So that's what they want us to go over there. There's 2,500 employees.
Oh.
I do have a question.
Yes.
For the next medical mission, if we're going to be really trying and committed to creating teams and making sure everything is done before we even go, is there a time limit that we can put for people to decide whether they're coming or not? Because in order to organize that, as like one of the team leads, I want to train the people that I'm going with how to educate everyone so we're all on the same page, especially if I'm not going to be at that place all the time. I need to make sure that my team is educated and can, do different things without me there. So some people wait till the last minute to tell us that they're going.
So that's a very good question, Bree. Yes, that's why we want to have team by December. Next month, we're going to have those teams. So people know when we started advertising for the next medical mission, we're going to start probably in January, February, March. It depends on the social media people are going to discuss. So much. So people are going to commit probably by June or so. But then we have to have now, they are being recruited to the group, not this time, oh, I want to go, and they don't have, no. By then you're going to say, for the postpartum hemorrhage, we need 6 people.
Right.
Yes. So once they connect, then you guys start communicating with that part. So by then, hopefully you've already started having a group discussion with people from Tanzania. And then so you're going to have maybe a couple of presentation with Tanzania before the end of the next year. So at least by then, people already there. You already know who is coming. Yes, we might have those stragglers come at the end of the close to maybe 2026 January. That's what they declaring that they're going by then. But at least by then, if the groups are already in place, so people
Mhm.
can be like, okay, we already discussed this. Even if the third person in this group of three is newer, the other two people already know what your expectation is. And they'll say, if you're a team lead on that project, more likely you're going to be going here probably Monday, and then Tuesday you're going to go to the other hospital, or you can be in the morning and then afternoon we take you to the other hospital. At least you get them situated, because you've already worked with them throughout maybe the last 6 months, at least discussing here and here. Once a month you guys meet for 30 minutes discussing, or give them people things to prepare, algorithm and stuff like that, to learn about those things, so these people are aware of it. And remember, if people are joining you on that project, they're going to be expert on those areas. So it's not like brand new people. It's not like somebody who have never been a nurse, they now go start learning to be a nurse. No, no. We say that for anesthesia, has to be a nurse either in the OR or an actual anesthetist to be able to be on that team. Yes, we're going to have extra help to people to help with the logistic stuff. Those are the people who can be guided, whatever. But at least the people in the team that we want to be a content expert, we want to be at least 2 to 3 people in each team to be able to do that part.
Yeah, because I would like to work with them before I even go
Oh,
to.
sorry.
Agree.
Yeah. So the question is, if we're going to have two teams, right? And we're there for 2 weeks, then you have one team at the hospital, one hospital for 4 days, but that's only 1 week. So what happens to the other week? All right,
Oh,
you
so then
know?
they're going to continue doing, I'm sorry. Yeah. So when I say the 4 days, I want to say like in lump sum, 4 days and then 4 days the second week. So there'll be 2 weeks.
Oh,
Yeah.
so stay there the whole entire time though.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. Okay. Yep, that's better.
Yeah. Sorry. When I said before, you can say like, remember you used to do like Monday, Tuesday here, and then Wednesday, Thursday, we go somewhere else. No, I want like all the 4 days you be right then and there in the unit with everybody else. And then you go back to the safari and then come
Four
back
days,
another 4 days.
4 days times 2 weeks.
Yes.
Right.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Sorry. I should have made it clear.
Uh,
I just want to say like maybe
I'm
Bree,
like,
the
I'm
third
like,
one.
what happens to the other? I'm like, wait a minute,
I
4 weeks?
was
What
confused.
happens to the other 4 weeks?
I was confused.
Sorry. Because remember, like even this year, the first day we went to Mwananyamala, and then the second day we went to Kilwa. So then Kilwa has only 3 days, and then Mwananyamala had,
Yeah,
you know what I
I mean,
mean? Yeah.
I
So
understood that, but I just couldn't figure out what happened to the other 4 weeks. When you said they're going to be there for 4 weeks, it's like, okay, so what happens to the other 4 weeks? But that's fine.
no, they're gonna be like 8 days in the same place. So they know the people, they know
All
everything like
right.
that. Yes. Just
Yeah.
the leader is gonna
Okay.
be bouncing back and forth. So let's say tomorrow,
Hmm.
maybe in Mwananyamala, they have you have a training or something, like somebody's presenting whatever, and people needs to go over there. So the leader can be there, but also the leader can go to the other group to see what do they have. Maybe they have 2 or 3 procedure that day. So you want to be able to see that so you can organizing. Yeah, so I mean we should be able to, we're going to have that conversation with them before even we get there. So it's kind of like almost you're going to an assignment that it's already been waiting for you.
Mhm.
Right. Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
I was going to ask Bree. Remember we had a discussion about coming up with like an online application process where there are certain things that have to be done.
Yeah.
If, so not sure. I'm not sure what we were you going to look into that, or how are we going to get that to materialize?
I mean, it depends what you want the application to be. Is it like an onboarding application as well as what project they would want to be in? Is that all application going to be on one? You know what I
Yes, and then
mean?
they should be able to, yeah, and so they should be able to make their deposit as well. So I mean,
Okay.
as much detail as possible, like um the maybe the visa, something like that, or whatever. Just really explain to them everything that they need, and then give them a checklist And then that way they can be aware of everything that they need to do, even though we do remind them regularly. But you know, it's I think what happens is a lot of that stuff is being managed by Dr. Gaboni. So if we can come up with a process where the computer takes care of a lot of that stuff, then it make it take a little more work off of our shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely work on an application. I know Valentine is pretty big in the onboarding process, so I can talk to her too, but I would like it. I want to make like an application and then maybe towards the end have a QR code to scan where they can submit their deposit. That would be really good. So you guys get the deposit directly as well, wherever. I know we're using Venmo,
Nope.
not the other one.
Well, I mean, I think so. Like for onboarding, that would be for someone who is new to the organization. So I'm saying just for like anybody. So like anybody wants to go there and say, okay, well, I'm going on a medical mission. I'm going to make my deposit, fill out my information, whatever. You know, you can even say by when they expect to have their visa or something like that, whatever, or if they have it already, something like that. But you know, because remember,
I think that's kind of hard to do so far out, in terms of making a deposit when you need your visa, because we're talking now a year, right? Before any of this is going to actually happen,
yes,
a year, more than a year. So I think it's a little premature to talk about deposits and all those kind of things that far out. Like Bree would say, the QR deposit, like maybe by certain data, unless you're going to have timelines.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because what happens is, so like right now, let's say somebody says, I'm going on a trip. We never know when that person is going to make their deposit. We never know if they've gotten their visa. You know, we really don't know what's going on with that person. So we have to find a better way of tracking whatever it is that they're doing. And the reason why I'm asking is because if we're going to come up with something electronic, it may take us a while to actually figure it out or to get it to work.
Right, but as long as you develop timelines, it should alleviate some of the stress of the matter.
Yeah, but then there's no reporting mechanism for them. So you could say, hey, you need to get a visa by July. We don't know whether that person got the visa or not. If they don't show up to that meeting, you know, at a certain time, we don't really know what's going on. So, and then everybody just comes individually and says, oh, I got my visa, or did you get your visa? Or, you know, so it just becomes,
I
you
think there
know,
needs to be
maybe,
two types of applications then. There needs to be one for the people who are actually going on the medical mission trip. And yes, it does need to be done by a certain date. And then there needs to be another one who just wants to be a QHSC
Member,
friend, whatever, what do we call
friend,
them? Friends.
yeah,
So
friends.
there needs friends. There needs to be two
Hmm.
different types of application then.
Hmm.
So
People who are serious and people who are not serious.
we're trying.
uh, you said it, not me. Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, like Dr. Gwen said, it's not a rush, but it's something that we have to keep in mind because it's definitely going to help somewhere down the line.
Yes.
Remember, they cannot get the visa unless I give them the invitation letter.
That's
Right.
true.
Right.
And
So
you
another
have that
thing,
information, whether or not they paid their fees.
yeah, so the deposit, once they confirm, which we can make it like in June next year, so then they have definitely like at least a year and commit the
Yeah.
space. So, but at
Right.
least when they sign up to be part of the group, sure. And then by June, whatever the date you give next year, then they should be paid the deposit. So then we can start making arrangements. Because remember, we're gonna need to know that information early on, so I can confirm and sign up with whatever with the Tanzanian people. Because now, if somebody else is paying for things, usually like government stuff, they need the information way ahead of time. Versus if I'm the one who's gonna pay it, some people will pay the day that they're leaving here, and I already pay out of my pocket, and then they return the money. But if somebody else is paying for it, so that means we need to know way ahead of time to make sure that the number of people who are going, because I can't say, okay, we need 20, and then by the time we leave, we have 25. So, I mean, if you are doing something to recruit, I mean, one of the new websites we can put as like to become an active volunteer to join the group or whatever. That should be one easy checklist. Okay, if you want to be QHSC member or friends, that's fine. Project that you want to join, these are the project available. Okay, I want to do this or that one or whatever. And then if that one, then you're going to get information from the leader for that group. Because when you're creating that part, we're going to need to know leader of each program. So then we have that contact information for those people. So then at least people can reach over and get that. So, but yeah, so I don't think maybe Dr. Gwen is the only one who does not know yet. For the website, we are trying one another website that is a little bit more smooth, current, whatever. So that website we have to pay monthly. So it's gonna encompass, it's almost like a one-stop shop for everything except just the I mean, so we have the dashboard, sorry, which is gonna capture all the data, information, and stuff like that. We're gonna share with people when it's time to if everything is ready, and then we're gonna show you guys the website once it's ready, so people can start seeing things that we are posting. It's gonna be a little bit more interactive in a sense that the board member should be able to see those things in there, what is happening. You can see who are the members, all the fundraising stuff we are doing, then they're going to be visible. So if people log on that part, they can see all the fundraising that are available, how much is being raised and stuff. So everything is going to be like an easier to see, and then we can track it. Anybody who is coming to the website, we want to track it. Anybody who is signed up, we want to track it. Even if people have gone to the medical mission, they should go through that so we can have the information, their contact information, all the things in the website, where the dashboard and stuff, so we can have, okay, this the month they started, this is the time they are members, how long they're going to be members. Because after a while, it's going to be like 5-6 years, somebody has been a member, you know for sure. If there's any benefit of somebody being the longest member in the group, then of course, they should get some reward for doing that, for being member for that long. Yeah, but I mean, there's few things that are happening. Yeah, so, and it's exciting, but we have to get people working. As I said, about the board members and leaders and stuff, I mean, some people have been not as active as they should. And we have people who are willing to do a lot of stuff for the organization. So, and that's why I was asking before, that people who don't want to be in the leadership position, it's okay. They can rest. And then give some of this part for somebody else. Because when you are writing all these corporate sponsor, or people are doing fundraising or like meals and stuff like that, it's not going to work unless somebody is part of the board member. Because board members, they're allowed to be able to do all these things. They're allowed to, if they, let's say they're doing meals, they're allowed to buy and pay in without paying taxes, because they're going to do fundraising for nonprofit organization. So, but if somebody is not a board member and they want to do that, they cannot, because I can't give them the letter from the IRS that they can use whatever they're using or spending without the tax. So that is one of the issue. Did I see? Oh, she said she was trying to join and she couldn't join. That's okay. I didn't see that before. But any other questions that we need to discuss? So this that's great idea. So they said when we discuss, yeah, so we're gonna at least expect 5 people. I'm gonna get the other board members to vote or to share their opinions so we can have that identify in our minutes. And then, of course, definitely we need to kind of like specify the agenda for the QHSC so all the board members can speak to it. We have to figure out specific things that we're going to do as an organization while we're here, the global outreach and presentation. And I know one of the area that we were working with the school for Texas, that one year, I'm not sure if we're able to do another one to go and present the QHSC for that school in Texas. Once we figure out, we're gonna let you guys know. Right now,
But everything that, excuse me, everything of the board members that are QHSC board members, if they're doing things in their community, everything doesn't have to be done in West Palm area in Florida. They can do it wherever, right?
yes, exactly. Yes. So there's, for example, number of fundraising. In fact, that's good. Thank you for saying that. Yes, the number of fundraising, yes, they can be nationally because it doesn't have to be in Palms West. If they have something that, you're right, like if we're doing CPI in the church or something, maybe their church need that service and they want to go there as a QHSC representative, that's okay. They can do it. Definitely. That will be helpful. And that also, as I said, it's going to give us a name out there. So they don't have to come and do that. And of course, yeah, being the board members, I mean, we do hope that they will engage in those community outreach and stuff like that. And of course, especially the gala is coming. So we are hoping people can come and join us to continue raising funds. Because I mean, usually the
I
gala,
know we're going to have the gala at the Wellington Center, right?
that's one of the areas.
I,
Where do you
I
want
thought
it?
about that too.
Yeah,
Oh, you like Wellington?
yeah, we have our sorority meetings there too. So I'll do a lot of stuff there. So I mean, I think it's a nice venue and
Have you gone to the cultural center for Palms West, Royal Palm?
Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
between the
yeah,
two.
I had my PhD graduation party there.
Nice.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah, I
you
did.
didn't even invite me.
Oh, I finished my PhD in 2009.
I was somewhere.
You, you weren't around here.
Oh God, I
No,
know.
but that they redid that center, and they have all the senior activities over there.
Okay.
Well, they were having the senior activities over there for the summer because of the fact that they had camp at the
Okay.
other place. But it's a really nice place. I mean, they have big rooms. They redid the whole place all over again, and it's really nice and cozy. So yeah, that's a great place too. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the two places that we followed up. In fact, I need to go and see if they responded to my email. So we are hoping a tentative date to be December 6th next year. So we hope.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, now Miss
All
Victoria
right.
is responding. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, we're going to continue working. Guys, thank you very much. And this is very helpful. We're going to continue working and see what we need to do. And as I said, we're going to share this video and give them at least a week for the people to respond. If not, we're going to put our votes as a disease. And then if they're not responding until December 14, well, we're going to have a different members because I have to submit the application starting January 1st. And I need to have people who want to come to the meetings and do stuff. So, but I'm excited. There's a lot of stuff
Well,
that,
I think the other thing too is to develop a timeline for your meetings. So if you're going to have meetings, and you put those dates out early in the year, so people can put them on their calendars, you know. I know that works for me in terms of, okay, so I put it on my little phone. It's like, okay, I have this meeting this time. and then I can be more compliant.
No, I agree. So we're gonna publish it, but I think this year in the beginning, I think I put them somewhere, but after a while I stopped publishing because nobody came. It was the same faces like now came. So after a while, I'm like, you know what, we're just gonna do the general. But I agree with you. For the next year, definitely I'm gonna do that. And usually it's like 2 days before the meeting, because so then we have, if there's anything, then we can share for the general meeting. But yeah, I will post it. And as I said, I want to be able to post, like in January, post the whole year so people know what things can be done. And I said, in December, we're going to work a lot of all these dates in there. And that's why we have to communicate with this corporate organization that are going to work with us. We need the dates, even tentative month, so we can put it on the calendar so people can see. Once we publish in January, and now we're going to have a new website and the social media part, so people can be posting these things. Okay, for this month we have this, for this month we have this, so people will know what is coming. At least so then they can follow it up. So there's a lot of stuff to come and exciting things to do. But last thing before I let you guys go. So if we do 8 days for the healthcare workers to the hospital, so the challenge is gonna be that the challenge is gonna be that people who in Mwananyamala won't be able to go to Kilwa. I mean, I'm not talking about the leaders, I'm talking about those people. And then also going to school. So how are we going to answer that? I mean, I have a suggestion, but I want to hear what you guys want to say.
So the people you mean who are assigned to go to the hospitals, they won't be able to go to the schools?
That's it, because if we want them to work a full day shift, like maybe from 7 to 3 or 7 to 4, they're not going to get the chance to go to school.
I mean, they won't go to school. That's it.
Maybe everyone can go to the graduation towards the end, like we always do.
Yeah, but I mean, like, to be honest with you, I had no interest in going to the school. I mean, I just didn't. So maybe other people who are at the hospital, then, I mean, everybody has their forte. You know what I mean? There may be people who don't want to be involved in the school at all. And those people who do, they go to the school and we go for, I don't know, what did they go for? Like a soccer tournament or something like that. And everybody can show up for something in the evening. But it shouldn't be the expectation of everybody in the team to go to the school.
No, so the healthcare worker went to school. A couple of things. There's health screenings, and then also, like, for example, the sanitary part to talk about the, like endometriosis and all the stuff, the girls thing stuff. So those are the part that we were pulling them out of their
No, there
routine.
needs to be a team of people to do that already. Those people are assigned to go to the school to do that kind of teaching there.
I think it needs to be, if you're going to do it like that, it needs to be very clear that hospital people are going to the hospital and school people are going to school. It has to be
Yeah,
very clear,
absolutely.
because if not, people are going to get upset.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we're going to have some drama.
You know what your role is, and these are expectations, and they should have outlines of everything they need to teach, and work with the girls and work with the guys, and that kind of thing, so they could have their own program that they need to fulfill.
So what about the CPR? Because remember, CPR also had the healthcare worker who were teaching in this hospital. Now they went to school to teach the CPR to school.
Right, but that was in the evening. So if you want to continue, I mean, I don't have a problem working at the hospital and then going to the school because it's a different time. I wasn't needed at the hospital anymore. But if you were to pull me from the hospital shift to go teach CPR to school, I mean, I would have done whatever you wanted, but I wouldn't have wanted to do that. You know what I mean? CPR was in the evening. It wasn't mixing with the hospital times. I think as long as it doesn't mix with the shift that we're supposed to do at the hospital, it's okay. You know what I mean? Because CPR at the school was at 5. Our shift at the hospital is
Oh, it's
done.
not 5. We couldn't keep the kids at 5. We went at what, 2:30?
Oh,
around
really?
almost 3 o'clock, I think it was.
Yeah, 2:30. Yeah, because 5.
Yeah, you're right. A little earlier, yeah, because it was at the end one of the classes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
2.
How long did it last?
Oh, we
a long
did a couple of hours. I think 2 hours.
2 hours, 3 hours,
Yeah.
2 or 3.
Oh, wow.
No,
Oh,
3 for the kids, but it was 96 of them. But
Oh,
okay, so this is what I was thinking. So if the sorry, if the healthcare worker, they're gonna be okay, one hospital and doing those 8 hours, 8 shifts. Sorry, I was thinking like they can do 3.5, the half day for the fourth day, not half days, like 2 o'clock on the fourth day. Then they can go and do the health screening in school, or the parents. And then the same thing the Thursday, which is gonna be the graduation, but the second week of the Thursday is gonna be the graduation day.
it depends on how big your teams are, though.
What team?
Yeah.
I mean, you're saying if they go to the hospital and you have the hospital people who leave and then go to do CPR, it depends on how big the teams are and who's going to be trained to do the CPR.
I was gonna say too. I
I mean,
think like with the toothbrushing and the hand washing, I think
No, that
we
can be
can
done with
get
somebody
in.
else. Yeah.
Yeah. So that part we don't have to worry
Yeah, we
about.
don't have to
Yeah.
worry about that. Yeah.
right,
And then even
but
the
I'm
CPR,
saying,
depending on who's there, we might be able to even do that. The problem is, I think the number of mannequins, and
right.
what else if they're being used for something else at the same time or something like that. But I think yeah. So if you're gonna go 4 days, 4 days, I mean, if we're trying to get everybody to concentrate, like have a stronger concentration on what it is that they're trying to do there, then yeah, we got to try to stick with it. So if it's 4 and 4, then we stick with the 4 and 4. I don't, not sure if we'll have enough people. Hopefully, we will to where because we don't need that many healthcare people at the school for that much. It's not a lot of time, so it's not like they're going to be there for 8 days out of the trip. So if you have people, they have to be assigned unless they're like doing vision or something like that. I think that's what happened before. So they do vision. If they're nurses, then they can go to the hospital and all that stuff like that or whatever. But if we can get enough people to do everything, then those healthcare people don't have to leave the hospitals for a day or two. It's almost like 2 days, I think, depending on what it is.
They would have to be people who could do CPR,
Yes,
you know.
that would be me.
Dr. Parank.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say too. I want to have like some in-person meetings. Um, of course, in the West Palm Beach area. I was telling Dr. Gaboni we're going to become members of the library, one of those libraries there, and every once in a while we want to have a meeting or something like that in person. I also want to get some pictures because remember I told you I want to make these posters, so we want to show posters of leadership in action, us meeting, planning, doing so. Same thing like they do with these other organizations, where they say this is where you're going to go work and this is our team, this is what we do, and stuff like that or whatever. So I think I know Bree said she had some pictures, but I have a ton of pictures that I just picked, um, so that we can start making posters for the different areas. So as we talk about leadership, we talk about the different programs. Like I have the pictures for the children with the nutrition program. I have pictures for the school, stuff like that. So I do want to have a meeting where we're actually physically present.
I'll be there.
Yeah, me too. Let me know in advance.
Oh no, we'll invite people. We'll try to get as many people as possible that live in the area, of course.
Asking about the healthcare because that time they did the hearing screening. They did them No, vision screening, if we get optometrists, then they can go in the school and do their own thing. We don't have to do, they don't come to the hospital, so it doesn't matter for us. It's just like when they were doing the physical assessment for the kids, pediatric kids. So we had the pediatricians who are there to go. That time Msambichak and the team went and did the thing. But yeah, so if we, I mean, that's what I thought, if we are going to have the team stays on their own hospital for 6, 7 days, 8 days straight. So that last day, it could be the half day to noon and then go to the school. Also, they can see the school for that part. So the CPR thing, we can figure that part out because we can have, if one of the health, one or two of the healthcare people are available or they can be pulled out to go and help with the CPR. The people in school also can be, who are coming, the teachers, something is, if we have a second also instructor there, because we do have one already, but if we get a second instructor there, then it'll be easier to get another healthcare or two to come over there to talk to people, that's fine. Because sometimes they might have a healthcare related questions, which we want to be able to make sure that we just don't provide CPR without the background of it. And if there's a need for that, we want to be able to provide a comprehensive response for the CPR. Yes, and combining the mixture of the trainers. So, but that one we can figure it out. We can still do the same thing like 2:30 and then or 3 o'clock. By the time you're there the whole day since 7 in the morning, it's not that bad because it's from Mananyamara to that school. There is a potential of getting the second school next to Mananyamara there to also include for the care, but we are not there yet. So there's other things that needs to be done because also they have girls who are there and they might need help. So I mean, I say there's so many things that are going on, and we want to be able to, at least by the end of December, we have kind of like a strategic plan that we need to do for next year and the next 3-4 years, tentatively, to make sure we are consistent. And then when we advertise to people, we give them a full story of what exactly needs to happen. And then so they know for sure the extent. If I'm committing myself, then I should be able to do A, B, C, D. And as I said, we all know that everybody's busy. So I thank you.
You talk,
for the time.
and so when you talk about like a team going to the school, you're talking about just one team.
What team for what?
Like you said, there might be a team of healthcare workers
No. What I'm
who would.
saying is like right now, let's say I'm gonna give example because they're here. Let's say we have anesthesia team A goes to Mwananyamala, anesthesia team B go to Kilwa. So if in anesthesia team A, one of the person there is a CPR instructor, is a healthcare but CPR instructor. So the day that we are doing CPR in the afternoon with the children, it's only 2 days. Like usually the first day is the teacher, the second day is the students. So if we are able to do that, but so the one person from the anesthesia who is CPR instructor can come and join the team in the school who, I mean, you are the instructor and another person to go and walk you guys through to do the CPR stuff. The same thing if for the postpartum hemorrhage. So that means we're not taking all anesthesia people out to go and do that part and leave the anesthesia project by itself. No. If there's 2 or 3 people, one person can be taken, the other 2 can continue working. Like, but it'll be almost towards the end of the day. It's only 2 times. Because we usually do the CPR for that. And
You should advertise for CPR instructors to be part of the team.
no, yes, we can do that. We can do that. I'm saying just in case if we don't. Yes, if we don't, yes. And of course, if for the CPR instructor who is going to be in school, then if we have a mannequin for school, then they can do more kids then because they can do that throughout the day, like as many children as possible, which is fine. Yes, if we advertise for school, so it'll be an instructor to do school and community. So then they don't have to do like only students in one day. So they can also do the parents around there, which is going to be a big selling point for the people in the community because they want to learn that. So that could be an exciting things.
Yep.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, we do that poster, where we'll ask for CPR instructors or healthcare professionals who are comfortable teaching CPR. That poster was already kind of like the idea of Dr. Gaboni, because we took the picture in front of that building when we were with the magnet, and she saw that picture and she was like, we should have a poster of that one. And it should say CPR works. So usually like on Instagram, it'll have like a little something on it or saying, and then in the actual posting that it'll tell, if someone reads it, then it actually tells them what you're trying to get them to get out of that poster, or what you want them to do, or where they can donate money and stuff like that. So yeah, we're going to have a few posters for CPR.
Yeah, in fact, that's a good idea, because that person also can go and help the magnet, the athletes. So which is fine, because we need the more people who are going to specific area. That will help instead of people spinning around like all over the place. So that's a good idea. Yes, we can have to make sure that when we write the CPR, we need to put CPR for 2 places. So for the hospital, we're not as advertising CPR, because healthcare workers, all of them should know CPR. And so we don't have to advertise because they're going to be there already. However, if we get the second, we have to make sure each hospital have one instructor for CPR, although all the healthcare workers are not.
Wait a minute. How about this? How about getting volunteers from the hospitals to go and do CPR?
Oh, take them from the
Yeah.
but they're the ones who don't even know what the CPR is.
Oh, I
Dr.
thought
Quinn?
you guys.
Well, I
Huh?
thought of it as a form of reinforcement or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. You
I
guys
mean,
did
they can,
training with
yes.
them last
If we
time.
have, yeah, if we have one of our instructors there with them, sure, yes, we can do that, definitely. We can do that. In fact, that will include to get them to go to the community too. Yeah, you're right. Not do, I mean, what I'm saying is like we don't want to send them by themselves without one of us. No, but they can be part of the team over there, so we don't have to take our people out. That's fine. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's fine. No, that's a good idea. In fact, to put them in the community too, yeah. So even if we
Yes.
leave, then they can go and continue doing their part.
Right.
Okay.
And then remember, we do have our Tanzanian counterparts for QHSC as well. Some of them. I mean, we had a few healthcare professionals, or quite a few, I think, this year. And just to let you know, Dr. Gwen, the medical mission was really good this year. I didn't spend a lot of time at the hospitals at all, but it was really good.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that.
Okay, guys. I think we had very productive meeting. Thank you. This is great ideas. But yeah, definitely having the nurses there from the hospital, or the doctors from the hospital go and help us in the community, that would be great. I think
Yeah,
that will
it would be.
increase our collaboration, increase exposure for them, and make sure they are in touch with their community too. So that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Any other question, burning since thoughts, and I can let you guys go. No?
All right. It's been a long,
I
productive meeting.
know. I know. No, but it's very
Yeah.
good. I mean, I like the questions and stuff. I mean, this is what I want people to be active. So then we can discuss and have a smooth planning. So then at least we know things that works, things that don't work, and the options like that. Only Dr. Gwen just said. No, those are the things that we need to know. So if we put our head together, we're gonna get a product that is very helpful and make everybody fulfill. Like definitely the healthcare workers who wants to spend time in the hospital, we give that options to be able to work with that part. So that's good. That's very good.
Yeah, and then when we have that first meeting in person, it'll be my treat.
What are you buying?
Yeah.
Well, we got 2 vegetarians here right now, so that's going to be a tough question. Oh, can you eat pizza, Brie? Like the cauliflower pizza?
Yeah. You
Oh,
guys
but
made
Dr.
it for
Gwen.
me. What?
I eat cauliflower pizza. Yes, definitely.
Oh, okay,
It's
so
the
then we
meat.
can get some of that.
Where are you
As
gonna
long as
get
you
No,
the
we
don't
get
put any
cauliflower
meat,
piece?
vegetables.
as long as you don't put any
Huh?
meat on it, it's fine.
Where are you
Oh,
gonna get
good,
the
good.
cauliflower
Then
piece?
so we can get
He's going to make it.
California kitchen pizza, no?
So
There you go.
I thought you were
Dr.
gonna be in the
Gaboni makes
library.
a
When are you gonna make it?
wonderful, incredible. Not only that, I said my treat, but now it looks like it's.
Okay, so thank you very much for coming, and we're gonna share the this video, and I'm gonna ask the board members to respond. And at least we had great ideas, and I'm grateful and thankful for you guys dedicating the time and offer your suggestion and opinion so we can improve this. Definitely, I think it has been the first insightful discussion, and I can see our goal of making QHSC brighter. Definitely, this is going to be one step to help going to that direction. So thank you. And if you think of anything, please let me know, and we're going to continue getting your feedback so we can make it better. We're going to try to follow it up. Just to recap, we're going to follow it up to make sure that we figure out those areas that we can do community outreach and share our thoughts about the fundraising and stuff for next year. And hopefully we get all our board members intact for the next time we have a meeting, so then we know what we need to do. So with that, thank you very much, and have a beautiful, great Friday. I thought it was Saturday today. Great Friday, so we can start the weekend. God help us all. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Alrighty.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.